This is my F1 23, my team career mode. Welcome back, everyone, to Jeffrey Racing. But there will be a twist today, as you have seen probably for a while now. The channel name has changed. It's gone from Jeffrey Racing to Race to Glory. I hope you do like the new change. I took a long time thinking about it, hundreds of different ideas and names, and I really do hope you prefer. I certainly prefer it. It's a lot more related to F1 than Bob Jeffrey was, and there'll be a twist later. If you remember last time out in Imola, we had to retire because we just weren't getting anything out the race. A messed up strategy when the rain fell. A red flag from a crash with our arch nemesis Alonso. So no love lost there between us and our old rival from remember when we were in AlphaTauri and he cost us the championship at Silverstone. So we ended up finishing 19th, which was a shame because the race had a lot of potential and looked like we were going to score some decent points, which means we're still sixth in the constructors, but we lose ground on Aston Martin and Alpine close up to us. But now it's time for the change that I'm about to show you all. Soon we'll see the change, and I am really excited for it because it will be quite a big change. And as you can see, we are no longer called Jeffrey Racing. It is RTG Sports is our new name. Race to Glory. I know it officially stands for Road to Glory, but we're going to call it Race to. Our channel name is Race to Glory, so that's what we're going to call it from now. Our name as a driver is still Bob Jeffrey because that's just what we're going to call ourselves. If I do anything different in the future, it might be something different, but that is going to be what it is for the moment. And because with this sponsor deal with Race to Glory Sports approached us, we changed our name, and they have in turn given us a 3-race cash rates boost. So just for 3 races, so that will be Austria, I believe, will be the last race. So Spain, Canada, Austria, those 3 races, we will have more money than usual, and then it will go back to the normal default, which we have had so far this whole season. But before you all say that doesn't make it fair against the AI, you can just now get so much better stuff on the car. We will have some limits to this increased cash rate. For the next 3 races, while we have the cash rate from RTG Sports, we will only be allowed to buy facilities. We won't be allowed to buy them in the aerodynamics, in the powertrain, in the chassis and the durability. So we won't actually be making our car better. We will only be allowed to buy personnel and marketing. So our car doesn't actually improve. The facilities don't actually improve the car. So personnel and marketing it is, and we're going to go straight in and buy a personnel upgrade, and that upgrade is going to be the simulator to improve Felipe Drogovic's pace. He got into Q2 last time in Imola. I hope he can replicate something like this again while his confidence is up. But you never know. He is still a rookie, remember, and we need to give him time to adapt. So that is what we are going to do. And we're going to buy some pace so we can maybe get more consistently, maybe closer to us. And Ferrari also bringing upgrades in for the weekend. So that's going to be very nice indeed. And we are going to, because of that, we're going to put in some new engines and try and get closer to that big pack of teams that the Ferraris themselves, that Red Bulls, the Mercedes and the Aston Martin. Let's head to the race weekend and let's check out some development upgrades. We make a very small gain, just a minor upgrade, I believe it was. Alpine gain on us a bit. Haas, who were a bit above Alpine, plateaued a bit into Spain, and AlphaTauri lacking at the back, with Alfa Romeo way ahead of them and on top of Williams now. So we still haven't lost or gained any positions in the R&D. It's going to be a while before we catch up to the Aston Martins on paper. So we've done quick practice now, got a bit of R&D to spend, and hopefully this will come in time for Austria, because it's only a 1 week break, I believe, between the two, between the Canada, no, 2 weeks between Canada and Austria. So we're going to buy that ERS upgrade, which shows that over the engine power. I love ERS upgrades personally. I feel like they're possibly the most important upgrades you can put on your car, giving you more power pretty much anywhere, wherever you decide to deploy it. But now, let's head into qualifying. First lap then here in Q1. Purple in the second sector actually, but as you can see, I haven't been on this game in a while, and I'm reaping for my reward. I went to Kefalonia in Greece in real life, and I hadn't played this game in over a week. So, and you could tell by that mistake we made, which cost us a huge amount of time. The lap was pretty decent otherwise, and still is good enough for P3 at the time, but 1 second slower than Lewis Hamilton. And that lap bang on average, P9 then. I'm surprised it took us that much. And as you can see here, where we had that moment, look how much time we gain. 5 tenths, and we were 4 tenths down, bear that in mind. The rest of our lap was bang on brilliant, but 5 tenths gain, so that means that we lost about a second then in that corner. There was a second to find possibly, but up to the line, green in the last sector, and that lifts us up into P5, and we do go out again on consecutive flying laps to find even more time, and that 6 tenths is going to put us into provisional pole in Q1. And that's going to be our last lap, which leaves us in P4 after a very solid Q1. I needed just to get back into the flow, do that all sorts. Alonso just makes it through ahead of his former teammate Esteban Ocon, but Felipe Drugovich is out in Q1. P21, I was hoping he could build on that great result in Imola and beating us, but unfortunately not. So first lap then in Q2. This is on a scrub set of tyres, and still finding it difficult to tune back into the circuit, find that right line, that right angle. Obviously I play on Xbox, that just getting the controllers be more friendly to me again, So this lap, probably nothing too special, to be honest. I'm still struggling with these last couple corners. Obviously the new layout, F122 obviously didn't have this layout because it wasn't in the track yet, but still second, third, thanks Russell, fourth, thanks Verstappen, which is not too bad, but I was quite surprised that we got so high. Obviously we're making so many mistakes in the last corner, and we do go out again. Well, we go on consecutive laps again actually, after we have a cool down lap, and we couldn't. Then we went out again, couldn't find anything, but we do still scrape through in P9, and Fernando Alonso is out in Q2. Get out of here, Alonso. So our rival out in Q2. That's exactly what we should be hoping for. And him along with Kevin Magnussen, Pierre Gasly, Alexander Albon, Zhou Guanyu, and Yuki Tsunoda, who did make it through to Q2. Both Alphas getting a car into Q2. Very impressive for them. And now first lap in Q3, we touch the grass. No. Oh no, that's our lap gone. Luckily, we do have another set of soft tyres, so it's not the end of the world. But we can go again. But this lap was supposed to be, a good banker lap, just to set a mark in case we had this in our second lap. So our second lap then, 30 seconds gained up to the line, because obviously we couldn't go out. Well, this is on the same set that we scrubbed, on the same set that we went into the gravel with, so nothing special, because we just did a cool down lap and then restarted again. And then you're going to see this lap in Q3, final run on our new set of tyres, how much time we gain. First sector, though, of our original lap, not too bad. We took a bit too much curb and grass on that second lap. So we are 2/10 down going into sector 2. 21.9 for us, and 2/10 down on Lewis Hamilton as well, as we've collected marbles from that going onto the grass there. So maybe that's why we've lost so much time, especially here. The tyres don't look too bad though, and hopefully we can just get rid of those marbles and find the time that we really need to. And as you can see, we are doing just that. Much braver there in that corner, and in the end it's just going to be just under 2/10. That's the best I've ever taken that final corner, and we can pay for it. 3/10 gain for us, and that's going to take us from P9 up into P6. So a good final lap from us. P6, that's a very, very solid qualifying indeed.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Verstappen, Sainz and George Russell. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
Max Verstappen then still absolutely dominating the championship. He's won every race so far except Saudi Arabia, where Leclerc won and Verstappen finished second. So he still looks to be on top with an outstanding lap, 4/10 faster than Carlos Sainz, who will start P2.
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and we welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector, shortening lap times and reducing the total running to 2.9 miles and 14 turns. This was actually the original setup for the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, Iceman, Hamilton, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Hulkenberg, Fernando Alonso, Magnussen, Gasly, Albon, Joe, Perez, Tsunoda, Ocon, Bottas, Stroll, Sargent, Drugovich, and Daniel Ricciardo fills the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Iceman. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within the team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do. And that has definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
First of all, I do apologise for my slandering of Fernando Alonso early. This is his home race, so getting out in Q2 maybe not be the best for him. But I here make a huge strategy call to go into the mediums, to a medium to hard instead of the soft medium, because I see the tyre wear being extremely high. As you can see, the tyres, so much wear at the end of the stint. Might be good initially, but they're going to wear out. So I make the big strategy call to go mediums to hards instead of the soft to mediums, which the strategy screen does say is quicker, but actually I think will be slower in the long run. But we will find out, and maybe a medium soft for us might be the play if we can extend the mediums long enough. But initially we will be doing a medium to hard strategy for the race. Hopefully we can make up positions. I don't think anyone in the top 10 is on softs because they just don't have, they just don't save tyres. But we'll see when I look at the race director now. I forgot to actually, but we will see now. So looking at the race director, yep, only Russell's gone on the soft. That's brave. He's gonna have a lot of wear then. Everyone else pretty much outside the top 10, except Sergio Perez, who did have a penalty, which means we are starting P5 for the race. I'm not sure if you looked at that on the grid rundown, but we are starting P5 beside Lando Norris for the race ahead. Point 4, pointing our card towards Lando. We want to get that better start. Norris on the hards, everyone around us on the hards, Russell ahead on the soft. It's going to be a very interesting, very strategic race here at the Circuit de Catalunya. A new layout, a new name. It's RTG Sports, 5th on the grid for us. It's lights out and away we go. Lando Norris gets a decent start, bogs down, then we bog down a bit, and we're going wheel to wheel with Lando Norris. He gets the slipstream off his former teammate Carlos Sainz and just manages to stay ahead. Can we try and go round the outside? Just like Russell is doing on Sainz ahead, on the soft tyres, clearly working for him early, and we do get ahead of Lando Norris, but he's going to come back at us. He's got that inside line. We go off the track. That's surely going to allow him back in. Yes, it is. Lando Norris re-overtakes us for P4, but now Charles Leclerc is thinking about the move behind us. Thinks about it, doesn't quite go for it, but we have lost already time to those ahead by fighting Lando and going off the track there. Especially if we want to stick in this DRS chain with Lando Norris, with George Russell, with Carlos Sainz. I want to eventually overtake Russell before the pit stops if possible, and unless Russell is going for an audacious 2-stop maybe. But I want to get him because of the tyre wear I know will be so high, and lap 2, you can see we've just clung on with these. With Norris, with Russell, with Sainz ahead, and we will be getting that DRS, that drag reduction system, that extra 18 kilometers per hour down the straight, and it's a bit of a DRS train here. And Leclerc behind us as well, still sniffing around. This DRS is key if we want to keep this P5. This is possibly the most crucial part of our race, remaining in the DRS and keeping with Lando Norris ahead. And as you can see, up ahead now, Russell getting the better exits out of the final corner, going for the move on Carlos Sainz and overtaking Carlos Sainz up into P2, I believe now. And hopefully we can close up on them, just like we did on lap 2 and lap 3. They were fighting so much. Russell obviously won the better tyres, Sainz with the track position, and Sainz got ahead. And now Leclerc going for the move on us, lap 7. We just been dropped out of the DRS. We still have it, but we are out of the DRS and Leclerc overtakes us. We're going to use slipstream, go back round the outside of Leclerc. He fights us. We're going to hold it round the outside and re-overtake the Monegasque driver. But there, crucially, we have lost the DRS. We're 2 seconds behind now of Lando Norris and of George Russell, who has been re-overtaken by Carlos Sainz. So maybe he's having tyre wear issues already. Only 7 laps in, so maybe my strategy call is right. The soft tyres good initially, but will lose grip. And now Charles Leclerc going for the move on us. Can he do it round the outside? This is a brave place to make the move. We're going to hold it round the outside, round on the inside, and just keep the position. But now 3 seconds is the gap up to Lando Norris, who surely will be overtaking Russell soon, with the mediums and hards now becoming the better race tyre than the softs. But we will see as Leclerc now, lap 8, going for the move on us once again, and this time we can't use that slipstream to come back at him because there's not enough straight remaining. So we're going to have to stick with Leclerc and catch up to Russell, who has now been overtaken by Lando Norris, but it's not going to be easy. We're struggling with tyre wear as well, as you can see, going off the track once again, still not finding that beat to tune in with the circuit enough. As someone behind us has an issue, I believe, I'm not sure who. I didn't really pay attention. I was too busy trying to stay with Leclerc, who is dropping us fast. We have to go into single digits with ERS down the straight. But now Leclerc, I'm sure, will be catching up to and overtaking George Russell soon. And lap 10, he's 1.3 seconds behind, almost within that DRS zone, and we still somehow are hanging on to that DRS. I'm not sure how we're doing it, but I'm not about to complain, as Hamilton has overtaken Fernando Alonso now and is up into P7. So Alonso facing tyre issues as well, it seems. Those soft tyres falling off a cliff. Alonso, remember, started P11 in his home race. So that's going to be interesting to see if he manages to get any points. Aston Martin should really be getting these points, and now Leclerc overtakes Russell ahead of us. We're going to need to clear him as well if we want to stay within that DRS of Charles Leclerc, because Russell, I'm sure, will not be able to do that. And you can see here, we're getting much better exits off the corner than George Russell. His soft tyres, the rear tyres, really struggling now. So we're going to go for the move down the inside on Russell, not messing around here. And we do overtake the man from Kingston up into P4. Great race for us so far. Can we hold on to it though? We have crucially again remained in that DRS of Charles Leclerc, and hopefully he can maybe pull us along to Lando Norris. But lap 11 now, pit stops are coming. This is going to be interesting to see. And I was thinking here, I'm going to box opposite to Leclerc, because if Leclerc pits and we pit as well, we are probably going to lose out in the pit stops. Even though Ferrari have notoriously bad pit stops in the IRL, in the game, they've got pretty decent ones with the personnel being quite high as such a good team. And Leclerc does pit, so we are going to stay out. And this in-lap is absolutely crucial for our race. I think I said outlap in the Bahrain video, but we are boxing the following lap. That outlap wasn't too bad overall. Could have been better, could have been worse, but the DRS there really helped us. And Leclerc has come out in traffic, so hopefully we can stay ahead of Leclerc as we now do lead the race momentarily before Verstappen, who has been dominating this one, re-overtakes us. Drogovic double stacking. He's so far behind us, I'm not sure it will matter. But good stop for us, 2.5 seconds. Sainz ahead of us. So that's pretty encouraging. As out the pits goes Norris. He's ahead of us. As is Leclerc. As is Lewis Hamilton. He was behind us by about a second, if you remember. And he has now undercut us up into P5. We are now in P6. Fernando Alonso, our arch nemesis, right behind us on those medium tyres. He's undercut us as well, and he's not messing around. No love lost between us then still. Alonso going for the move on the inside, trying to force us wide there. We're going to do that in turn and try and force him wide. Do not take that line, the racing line whatsoever. Not happy with that. And we're going to shove him wide and keep this P6. No way am I losing. Even though he's Spanish, we are not going to lose to Fernando Alonso today. I am adamant about it. Especially after what happened last season and last race. And Alonso can't go for the move on us. He did think about it, but can't quite go for the move in that second DRS straight. But now, the task for us here is to catch up to Lewis Hamilton before our tyre wear kicks in. He's on the medium, so he will get better grip once again initially. But as you'll notice, we have gone onto the hard, so the tyre wear was too high. But forget catching up to Hamilton, we're going to have to keep this position on Fernando Alonso first. He goes for the move on the inside. Can we try and go back round the outside? No. Maybe a switch back? Oh, no, we can't. Alonso overtakes us. It's not the end of the world, though. We can still get that DRS to pull us along, because I'm sure Alonso will be able to just inch us maybe a bit closer to Hamilton ahead, but he is not able to do that. In fact, we've actually lost about 6/10 since Alonso overtook me. But can we go? So we're going to go back down the inside of the Spanish driver and up into P6 again. We re-overtake him, and Sergio Perez also overtakes Alonso after that kerfuffle with me. Up into P6 then, and now 3.3 seconds is the gap to Lewis Hamilton. And lap 16 though, we again not worried about closing up to Hamilton, because we've got another car overtaking us. It's the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, overtakes us on the outside. We try and dive back down the inside but can't quite do it. But hopefully a Red Bull might be able to tow us. This has been the whole part of the whole video, isn't it? Just towing in the race. Getting other cars to tow me, and a little slide there by Sergio Perez. Maybe he's facing a bit of tyre wear, and he has closed the gap to Hamilton by about a 10th, and we can now see him up ahead, but we want that position on Perez back, because I feel like now we have to go and just push completely flat out to catch up to Lewis Hamilton, and we do overtake him on the outside. Quite a simple move. He did fight us a bit. We do keep it. And now last lap of the race. It's been quite boring, to be honest. We have been closing that gap to Lewis Hamilton. Closing it. But we're just not close enough. We're 1.5 seconds away from overtaking the 7-time world champion. 5/10 away from that DRS. So maybe if we had pit on the previous lap, P5 might have been on the cards. But it's just not meant to be. And Hamilton, obviously, the I think the closest the gap was 1.2 on the last lap, because obviously the AI saved their ERS at the end. And I am single digits with ERS. I am completely out of DRS, flat out. Cannot do anything more. Pushing as much as I can. Hamilton now 2 seconds ahead of us. Unless he spins here, we're not overtaking them. So we need to be more worried about the threat behind us. Sergio Perez. We take that like we did in Q1 in qualifying. Sergio Perez on the outside. Has he got us at the line? No, I think we could. Have we kept it? We got it? Yes, we do keep that P6. Whew. Perez had my heart going there a bit. A photo finish right at the end. That was brave. Perez, great drive from him. Driver of the day, deserves it. King of comeback drives, as we all know.
To take the win from Red Bull today. So, Natalie, what do you think helped them deliver this result?
Quite simply, a driver is nothing without the team behind him. So, a deserved winner, but we do have to give a shout out to the team in the pit lane and back at the factory. Very much a collaborative process.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team.
By Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Max Verstappen then wins the race, again extending his advantage in the Drivers' Championship. Drugovich up into P20, but Ocon did DNF, so can't take too much of that. He just didn't gain or lose any pace. Hopefully the pace personnel upgrade will help us. Lando Norris finishes second. Quite a good, solid drive from him. In the standings now, 52 points is the gap between Leclerc and Verstappen, and we are now P8. I believe we have overtaken Alonso, who was before ahead of us with that 6th place finish, and now still 6th in the Constructors, but we do extend our gap on Alpine, which is very crucial indeed. Drugovich still yet to score, and only person he's doing better than is Logan Sargent, which I guess is positive, but still maybe not the best, to be honest. But if you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. If you do enjoy, make sure to check out the other video so that on screen right now, because especially that Road to Glory Careermode with AlphaTauri, because that was an absolute banger of a season. Anyway, as I was saying, if you have enjoyed, like and subscribe. It helps out so much if you want to see, and especially if you want to see more F1 23 related content, or maybe hint here, maybe some FC24. You know, if you wanted me to do some FC24 videos, do comment down below, because I am very interested to see if you want to hear, and if you are still watching, I am very humbled for you to still be watching so far into the video. But goodbye. I'll see you next time for the Canadian Grand Prix, one of my favourites. Goodbye.